What's going on, everybody? TRAE4PAY back in the building, coming at you guys with day 6 of the Darrell Brooks trial. So apparently this day is set to be a little bit longer because they had to end day 5 quickly due to bad weather. Yeah, they actually added a couple hours, so I'm gonna try to get this out as quick as possible. Thank you all so much for all the support, all the love. In the last video, I didn't like that I recorded it with my retainer in. Like, while I was doing it, I thought it was gonna be okay, but for some reason when I was editing, I just didn't like the way it sounded. But thank you all in the comments for letting me know like it wasn't a big deal and everything, and also sorry for making such a big deal out of it. A lot of you told me like it wasn't that big of a deal and it wasn't even noticeable. And really quick, I want to say thank you to Jamie for the super chat donation. I think you donated once before as well, so I really appreciate it. And just so you guys know, I don't ask anybody to donate. No one is required to do anything of the sort, but I do want to tell you guys that in the comment section there will be links to donate to the community of Waukesha. So if anybody is interested in doing that, it will be right there for you. But I don't want to make this intro too long. All I will say is if you enjoy the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into day 6. My apologies if I look a little tired too. Someone mentioned in one of my videos that I look pretty tired when I record these. I just got off work a couple minutes ago, so I may look a little bit, my eyes may look a little strained or something. Let me skip a little bit ahead. Oh, there's Darrell. The Fisher Price attorney himself. There he is.
From
versus. Alright. He's starting off with a sovereign citizen BS. I heard it, a little bit of it.
State of Wisconsin versus Darrell Brooks, case number 21 CF 1848. May I have the appearances, please?
Good morning, Judge Sue Upper, Leslie Basie, and Zach Witchow appearing for the state of Wisconsin.
Good morning. Please state your name, sir.
I'm here as a third-party intervener in that matter, appearing as authorized representative for my client and make a case that I do not identify.
The record should reflect that the
I'm sorry, I'm tired of giving him the respect of like saying this stuff. I'm just skipping him now.
In person in custody. He is wearing street clothes. He's wearing a suit and tie. He's also wearing a mask.
Being a little too nice to him, you know.
All right, we are starting a little bit early today, given the extended break we had yesterday. Anything the parties wish to take up prior to the jury coming out from the state?
Just one thing, Your Honor. For the record, we have served all of the subpoenas for Mr. Brooks at his request. The subpoenas had indicated a report date and time of tomorrow, which would be October 14th at 8 a.m. Given where we are in the case, we do not believe that we will have rested the state's case by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We believe we're probably on track to rest sometime on Monday at this point. So with the court's permission, we would like to advise those witnesses that they do not have to report at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and that we will update them probably Friday afternoon as to a date and time to appear.
All right, thank you. Any objection to that procedure, sir?
Oh, yeah.
No objection. Just wanted to state that those subpoenas were filled out, as you know, by your assistance, that they should have been filed with the date of the 14th at 8:30 a.m. So just wanted to state that for the record. And also, again, I do not consent or agree to being called that name.
Your lack of consent is noted. I would note, though, you've not provided me with a different name. Number one. Number two, every inmate communication form has the name Darrell Brooks Jr. So I like to refer to the defendants by their name, frankly, out of respect for them, to not continually use defendant over and over again. Not that that would be improper, it's just a practice. So I'm going to still keep referring to you as Mr. Brooks. I know you as Mr. Brooks. Again, you've filed all sorts of inmate communication forms with that name, and you've never given me another name for which to call you. So I just want you to know that's not a disrespectful thing. It's out of respect for these proceedings. And
that is so hilarious. Somebody in the comments told me that she said that too. It was a long time ago. I want to say it was like, I don't even know how many videos. ago. But somebody said in the comments, because I said in the video, I said he's never told her what name that he would like to be called, and someone said, well, later on she's gonna get him about that. Like, she's gonna say, like, hey, you never gave me a name either. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
But at times I'll still refer to you as the defendant.
No disrespect taken whatsoever.
He's not gonna give her a name.
And for the record, I still would not consent to that name or agree to that name.
What name?
All right.
No respect, no disrespect taken whatsoever.
Your position is noted.
Isn't that funny how he gave no name, though? This sovereign citizen stuff is like, I can never understand
All right,
this.
do you have any documents to
I don't
file
even
today,
get what it
sir?
really
Yes, I
means
do.
at the end of the day, but
Just very brief things I would like to put on the record.
I'll have the bail first show it to the state, as that is proper, and then it'll come to me.
like with the sovereign citizen stuff, it seems like you kind of just make it up as you go, to be honest. Like, oh, today I'm blue. I'm a sovereign citizen, so that's what it is. So, like, something, I don't even know.
Thank you, Deputy.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what document they're reading. I'm assuming this is like a document that Darrell needs to submit, and they're just laughing at how childishly he filled it out or something. I'm not sure. I should have paid a little bit more attention.
All right, the record to reflect, I have received a document that has a caption for this case, a heading that says bond, then 2 short paragraphs, and then a signature at the bottom with the name Darrell Edward Brooks Jr., authorized representative of Darrell E. Brooks, all rights reserved.
He signed his
reviewed
name.
it, sir. I would note it will be made part of the file. You do not reference any law as it relates to this request, or what I would deem a request. There's no constitutional provision, statutory provision, or common law associated with this. I'm not sure what you're asking me to do with it as well. I don't see a clear request for relief as well. So,
Okay. See, I was gonna skip back to see what it is that he was asking her to do, but now that I see, like, she doesn't even understand either. Like, I'm just gonna let it play.
Be filed, but I'm not gonna address it any further. Do you want a copy of that for your records, sir?
Yes, I do. The time-stamped original copy, if I may. And also, to my knowledge, the filing is proper, unless Your Honor can provide verified law of your own that is not a proper document. I think it's very clear what the document is referring to.
You're requesting bond, pretty much.
The language is all together. It's a very, very clear document in its entirety, and
Mr. Brooks, I would direct your attention to section 802.01, which governs motions, how made, and the form. That document does not comply with that. As far as receiving a time stamped, we have a date stamp. It will be scanned and it will be then uploaded into the file. I would just note for the record, it's now 8:07, and I've had that for a couple of minutes now, but that's, we don't have a time stamp in the courtroom here.
What was the law that you cited?
I draw your attention to section 802.01, which is the statute related to motions.
And
he's not going to read it.
Refer specifically to that filing?
She can't give you advice.
To any request that's made to a judge or in a court of law. Could, I suppose, go to a court commissioner, but that's not where we're at in these proceedings. That, to me, does not provide a legal or factual basis for the request that you're making. So that's how I will address it.
For the record, I believe it does, Your Honor. It was presented in the same fashion that all my motions in this court have been presented, and you never cited the same thing with the other filings. So that's leading me to believe that it's just that document that's not being accepted when I have the other timestamp filings for the same documents that I filed. Every other document is filed in the same manner. Every last one of them, and no exception with that one, Your Honor.
Like, okay, I touched on this a little bit in the last video. Like, okay, so I'm not entirely sure about the process of submitting motions, I believe. Like, they say it, or how they say it, but like, I remember at one point Judge Jennifer was saying that she understands that he doesn't fully understand the process because he's not an actual attorney. So in a way, she was probably cutting him some slack and allowing him to do at least that much, like just submit these like terribly pieced together motions or however. And then also, you know, the prosecution helps him with a lot of this. So maybe when it comes to filing this specific motion, like, this isn't something that he can just throw together, like, however so. Like, it's not something that he can just throw together loosely and hope that, like, they just accept it because, oh, I'm not a real attorney. You know, there it is. Like, I don't think that's going to work this time. But hopefully, like, the prosecution just stops, you know, helping him with these things. And, like, he's just stuck. He's just stuck in place pretty much. I don't know.
I understand my obligation.
I think they are going to continue helping him.
Individuals who are representing themselves to review their pleadings
like
and to construe them liberally. However, you were notified the other day that future requests needed to comply with section 802.01. Even with a liberal reading of that document, I'm not sure what it is you're asking me. It's not going to prevent this court from proceeding forward and continuing on with the trial and having the jury brought in and the next witness called.
For the record, Your Honor, can you state why? Because it's clear what this is referring to. It's referring to why there's no bond mentioned or stated in the court document, the docket sheet. There's no bond.
Because you killed a bunch of people
in any of these writings.
You're not going to get bond.
Not one time does it mention it, and so that was what this was referring to.
I understand what it's referring to, sir.
Also,
there's no legal basis for your argument.
Also, for the record, this docket is not a certified copy, which is what I requested.
I do not control the clerk's office. You need to make a specific request to the custodian of the court record, which is the clerk of court, for a certified copy.
I did that.
Can't be done here.
Okay, now that makes sense. This isn't something that he can do in this I have no idea about
courtroom, you
like the
have to
legal
do that
process. So.
through an inmate communication form.
That's what I did, Your Honor. The ICF should be on record that I specifically requested a certified copy.
Sir, I'm not in charge of that, so I'm not going to address that any further. So my understanding is a certified copy was provided to you.
This is not the certified copy that I'm holding, Your Honor. I know how a
Again, you
certified
can
copy
take that
is.
up with the clerk of court. That is beyond the scope of what I am addressing here. I am not the custodian of the record.
He's going
I
to
would
keep
not
pressing
be
the issue.
the judge to address any concerns that you have if you believe your request was not complied with.
It clearly wasn't, because this
I'm
is
not the person to do that, sir. It's not the proper venue in this case or forum. All right, the custodian of the record needs to reply to that. That is our clerk of court. If you believe she did not do that, then you have recourse available to you, but it's not through this case. So with that, I'm going to move on. Let's have the jury brought out.
I was not provided with exactly what I asked for. If I'm told by the court to submit an ICF for any requesting, and I requested specifically a certified copy,
It just
of the
goes right
docket
over his
sheet
head.
and was not provided with what I specifically asked for, then
Sir,
how?
I can't address that any further. So
I
again,
would like
you need
that
to take
stated.
that up with the clerk of court, and you can communicate directly with her office.
Can
But I'm
that
not
be-
going to do it through.
He
this
probably
court
doesn't know how to
proceeding.
do
I
it.
would like that stated for the record, that I did not receive what I specifically asked for, and I'm sure that the ICF is on record. I can get
Mr. Brooks, for the record, we're on the record. And so
Okay.
everything that we're saying is on the record. So it's noted. Bring the jury out, please.
Also, I have one more thing I wanted to state for the record.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to get a jacket. It's kind of cold in here.
Go ahead.
Which was also submitted via inmate communication form. So that should be on the record, and it should be filed. I know it should have been received by now. It was addressed to Miss Monica Paz, and it was asking for the complaint that was filed. It was 3 different complaints, and they're found in the docket sheet. One from 11/23 of 2021, one from 11/29 of 2021, which would be the amended complaint, and then one from January 12 of 2022, which would be the second amended complaint. I specifically asked for copies of those to be provided, as they were not in any discovery.
Go back out, Teresa.
Hold on a second, okay? Sorry.
He's holding up this entire thing.
Are you? I am not going to answer for Clerk of Court Paz. She is the custodian of the record. All right. So you're going to have to communicate directly with her. If you're looking for just copies, I'm happy to print those off for you. I've already provided some of those things to you. I hear you saying you want certified copies. That would not be provided by me. Are you looking for certified copies or just copies?
Certified copies.
All right, then that will have to be addressed by Clerk of Court Paz.
So how would I do that? Because
I can't, sir,
Is it
I've already
through-
told you need to make the request to her. If you, and that's how I have to leave it, sir. I'm not the custodian of the record, so.
I addressed it that way, Your Honor. I addressed it the way I was told to address it from
My
the court.
understanding is it went to her. So with that, let's have the jury brought out. Your position's noted.
All
Your
right.
Honor, can we address the subject matter jurisdiction before the jury comes out? The jury comes out?
We've already done that.
And is that a judicial determination that you're making, not to address the subject matter jurisdiction, which has yet to be proven at this point? It has not been
Mr.
verified?
Brooks, please, the jury's coming out. I know what you're doing, but just, I've already addressed that.
So is that a judicial determination that you're making?
My decision on the record stands, sir.
And I would like the record to reflect that you have not shown verified proof of subject matter jurisdiction whatsoever.
Every morning, she has to battle this dude,
And
man,
that
to
by
get him like to
refusing
stay
answer,
on the
that is a
rails. Like he's
tacit
just trying to go
agreement
off the
by
rails.
you, Your Honor, which you understand what that means. I know you do.
Mr. Brooks, I have not entered into any such agreement, and because the jury is out and you are claiming that there's some issue, I'm going to take this up later, but I we'll entertain a request from the state for a curative jury instruction. All right, thank you, everyone. You may be seated, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. We are proceeding with this trial, and the state may call its next witness.
And Your Honor, before the state calls the next witness, I just want to let the record reflect that I did put Exhibit 54 on the witness stand, and it will be introduced through the next witness, who is Laura Thien.
All right, thank you.
Exhibit 54, I don't have that in my notes. I just took note of the ICF thing. That's been brought up a few times. I didn't even know what that meant, inmate communications
forum. Your
forum.
way to my witness stand, which is all the way up by me. It is up one riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
Exhibit 54. All right, we're going to see what that is.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you. Please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Laura, Laura, Thien, Thein.
Thank you. And sorry I put an M on that previously. All right, go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Good morning, Mrs. Thien. How are you today?
Very good.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to direct your attention to November 21st, 2021. Were you at the City of Waukesha Christmas Parade on that day?
Yes.
Were you there as a spectator?
No, I was in the parade. I was in one of the units,
Okay. And which group were you with?
the Milwaukee Dancing Grannies.
How long were you with the Milwaukee Dancing Grannies?
How long?
Yes.
8 years.
Okay. And how would you describe, first of all, how many people at that time were in the Dancing Grannies approximately?
There were 9 of us in the parade.
Could you describe, were you guys friends, close? Did you see each other often?
We were like sisters. We were a sisterhood.
Did you meet regularly for practices?
Every week.
Okay. Without fail, pretty much?
And we had some social outings, and then we've seen each other again every weekend for a parade.
So would it be fair to say that the 9 people that were at the parade on November 21st, you knew pretty well?
Very well.
Is it normal for the Dancing Grannies to be part of parades?
Oh, yes. We do lots of parades. We do about 21 of them in summer and about 5 to 6 in winter.
Okay. Did you talked about practices. Did you have certain numbers that you did for example, for the Christmas parade this past year in November?
Yes, we do Christmas routines and for the holidays, and then we do different type of routines for summer.
Okay. In November, would you have a pretty standard formation that you would keep to do each of your routines during the parade?
Yes.
Did you have uniforms?
Yes, we did.
Can you describe them for the jury?
Objection, voted.
Overruled. You may answer.
Brown suit.
They were long skirts with white fur. They were blue with white fur on the bottom. Blue jackets with white fur for cuffs and around the neck, and a white fur hat.
Did you have, I'm assuming if you were dancing to music, that you had something that played the music?
Yes, we have a music vehicle.
Where would that music vehicle be in relationship to the group who was performing?
Right behind the group.
Oh, hold on. There's been an objection. It's noted. It's overruled. Her answer may stand. Just in the future, if there is an objection, wait until I've ruled on it and then answer if I say overruled. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Overruled.
I feel like he's going to be like extra disrespectful. I feel like the more that he, how do I say? I'm trying to figure out a way how to say it. Like, he seems to prey on people that he feels like are vulnerable and stuff like that. And it seems like in his mind, he thinks that women are especially people that he should like prey on. But now that it's an older woman, like I wonder how that's gonna make him. Like I just wonder how he's gonna behave. It's just based on the first couple minutes of her testimony. He already sounds like he's being like super, like he's objecting and adding extra little comments of grounds for the objection. Like even though Judge Jennifer ignored him the first time, and she addressed the witness, and then even after that he comes in behind it, grounds for the objection, even though she just stated it.
Relevance.
Grounds for the relevancy.
Yeah, he's gonna be super disrespectful.
So
in
did
this
you
one.
also have people walking with the
Clown
performers
show.
in the parade to give support?
Yes, we have volunteers. We have 2 volunteers that carry the banner and a volunteer that will give us ice chips in case we get.
Do you recall who were the 2 volunteers who were carrying the banner that day?
Yes, there was our usual banner carrier, a young girl, Allie, and then at the last minute, the gal didn't show up because we have 2 for the banner. She didn't show up, so Ginny, at the last minute, decided to be the other banner carrier.
Now, when you say Ginny, are you referring to Virginia Sorensen?
Yes,
And you knew her as Ginny?
yes,
Okay, and you said there's also another support person who carried ice chips.
yes.
Do you know who that was last year?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
Grounds for the overrule.
I should.
You can answer.
Okay, yes, Bill, one of our dancing granny's husbands.
Just keep ignoring him. Like I can tell this is gonna be, and we are not even 30 minutes into this, and I'm just like, I hope he gets frustrated and starts crying and stuff, because he's acting like a pure clown. The only thing he knows how to do, and I especially don't like this because it's an older woman, and she's sitting up here. She's trying to give her testimony, and he's taking it as an opportunity to try to like bully and push her around, and I don't like seeing this kind of stuff. So gonna be another rough one.
Is that
there are no easy-
Wilhelm Hospital? Is that his
Easy
full name?
days with this guy.
Yes,
Thank you. Now I have before you a document that's marked States Exhibit 54.
okay,
Do you see that in front of you?
yes, that's pretty much our group.
Okay. So it consists of 9 different, it looks, why don't you describe for the jury exactly what's in front of you?
Objection.
Overruled.
Grounds.
You may answer.
Okay, we have 9 people that were in the parade. And when
Please kick
there
him out.
are an uneven number,
Please kick him
there
out.
is somebody who is in the slot.
Okay.
And it was my turn to be in the slot. So,
Okay. So on the top of the sheet, and
that in
I
my
have a
notes.
copy in front of me, so if we're going from the top down, we have the names, it says banner, and then on the left-hand side as I'm looking at that, it's Ginny Sorensen and Allie, is that correct?
yes,
And I'm going to actually ask that this be published also for the jury and admitted into evidence.
Objection. And we have yet to see what's being talked about being shown.
Does Mr.
It's up now.
Brooks have a copy?
I believe it's up in front of him now.
All right. Give him a minute to look at it.
Objection. I do not consent to being called that name, nor do I agree to being called that name.
All right. The record should reflect that the Exhibit 54 is being displayed on the monitors at the present time to the parties, to the court, and to the witness. There's been an offer or a request by the state that the court receive the exhibit based upon the testimony of this witness. Exhibit 54 is received, permission to publish is granted.
Objection.
Noted. Overruled.
On what grounds?
Mr. Brooks, I'm not going to be specifically addressing so please respect that.
What
I
does he even?
respectfully request a legal reconsideration of your ruling.
Mr. Brooks, now is not the time for that. The objection has been overruled. I expect that you will honor that, and we will continue without interruption.
Oh, please
Go
kick
ahead.
him
I
out.
do honor it, Your Honor. For the record, I respectfully.
Oh, please kick him out. Please kick him out. I'm hoping that this leads to.
Respectfully reject that ruling and take exception.
He's
to that ruling.
testifying pretty much right now.
Thank you. So in the upper left-hand corner, the name Ginny Sorensen. In the middle, it says banner, and then Allie. Ginny was Virginia Sorensen. She was carrying the banner with Allie, correct?
Yes.
And they would be in the front as the group is going down the parade route?
Yes.
And the 9 people who are listed in the boxes following or behind the banner, does that accurately reflect the lineup that you had on November 21st of last year?
Yes.
Overruled. Her answer may stand.
Wow.
Your Honor, I'm now going to show the witness exhibit 53, just the witness only.
Go ahead.
And let me know when you see it
53.
up on your screen.
It's done.
Okay. I'm going to show you a couple seconds of it. I'm just going to ask you if this accurately depicts your group on November 21st of last year. So I'm going to play a couple seconds. It's starting at 00, and let's play it for 5 seconds.
This is my group coming up.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And does that accurately reflect how your group on November 21st of last year? Okay. I would,
This is probably the footage of the accident.
Yes, is that a yes?
Yes, that's how it was.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said that out loud.
It's okay.
You're doing fine. What was I gonna clear up? Oh, I called it an accident just now. They're probably gonna show her footage of him striking like the actual Dancing Grannies team. So this is gonna be rough.
it's okay.
That's what I'm here for, to make sure the record's clear.
Okay.
I would ask the court to admit this exhibit 53 into evidence and publish it for the jury.
Objection.
Overruled. Exhibit 53 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Grounds for the overrule.
Ma'am, I'm going to play it straight through, and then we'll go back and go through it.
Yeah, she ignored you,
and pause
clown.
the occasion for you to identify.
How's that feel?
Okay.
Grounds for the overrule, Your Honor.
The statement continue.
Yeah.
Is that a legal determination that you don't have to give me the grounds for the overrule?
She can do as she pleases.
Objected on the
Mr.
record.
Brooks, stop interrupting. I've made my ruling. Let's keep going. Go ahead.
Thank you.
I ask for a written judicial finding of facts and conclusion of law. Or is that a tactic agreement, Your Honor?
Your Honor, just for the record, this is 1 minute and 27 seconds left.
He's literally waiting until they stop playing it so he can start talking again. Like, this is like a little kid that waits for you to stop talking to your friend or something so they can talk about their toy set. Like, they want to show you the toy that they have. They're just waiting for you to stop so they can show it to you.
Bam, that was the routine at the beginning of the parade, it looks like?
Yes.
Is that correct? And will you be able to identify each of the people if I go through the exhibit and kind of pause it occasionally for you to tell us who they are and a little bit about them?
Objection, hearsay.
Thank you.
Overruled.
Grounds for the overrule.
Not hearsay. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'd ask that we begin playing it without sound at 00. If we can pause it. Again, can you circle Virginia Sorensen on the screen? The screen in front of you is touch.
Okay. This is Ginny.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about Ginny?
Ginny was our glue. She held the group together. She was in the group the longest. And I think she was in the group for close to 20 years. So she was in there for a long time. She was close to everybody. Like I say, we were like sisters. And if you had a problem, she would always ask you about it, talk to you about it. Ginny was always there.
Okay. If we can continue on, it stopped, I'm sorry, at 1 second. If we can continue on from 1 second. If we can pause it.
Okay, and now that's Lee and Sharon.
Okay, so who is on, as we're looking at this video, who's on the right side?
The right side would be Sharon. Lee is on the left. She was right behind Ginny.
And I'm just going to direct you to Exhibit 54.
I'm
That's
sorry.
in front of you.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I misunderstood. When you say the left side of the street was where Lee Owen was, or the left side of the picture as you're looking at your screen?
Lee was on the left, right behind Ginny.
Miss Dean,
Oops.
it's okay. There's been an objection. It's overruled, but I would caution the state about leaving the witness.
Okay.
Go ahead. You may answer.
Okay, so
Okay.
right behind Ginny was Lee Owen.
Yes.
Is her full name Leanna Owen?
Lee was
Overruled.
Lee was very close to Ginny. They worked together a lot for the group, and she taught a lot for the new people that were coming in. She was more or less the leader to teach them the routines. And I rode with Ginny to not Ginny, but Lee. I rode with her to every practice. We rode together. So we were quite close too.
Okay. And next to Lee, you stated according to Exhibit 54.
It makes it even more despicable that he's like interrupting so much when she's talking about a topic as heavy as this. But I was just going to mention really quick, I'm glad that they're just talking over him now. Like, he seems like he's desperately trying to take control of the room or something like that. Just steamroll over this dude. Just talk. Like, he can't do anything.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to focus on the people that were injured during the parade, okay? So next, if we can continue on, we stopped
Before you move on, can you tell me where that was paused?
at 11 seconds.
Thank you.
If you continue on from 11 seconds.
I'm surprised he didn't object to that just for the sake of doing it.
And pause. The state has paused at 21 seconds.
Okay.
There's a woman who seems to be between, in back of Lee and Sharon. Do you recognize that person?
That would be Betty.
And do you know Betty's last name?
Betty String.
Okay. And did you know her very well?
She was fairly new. She was only in the group for a couple years.
Okay.
And so, but we knew each other quite well.
Would she go out on the events with you and you do social events?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I think I said it, I stopped at 21 seconds. If we can continue on. We can pause it. The state has paused at 28 seconds. Behind Betty, there are two women who are in the forefront of the video that stopped. The person that would be dancing on the left-hand side of the street as you're walking down the street, do you know who that is?
That would be Kathy Schmeling. This was her first parade.
Okay. Can you Circle her where she's standing on the screen.
Okay, if I go the way she's going, on the right side or left?
Circle who you think is Kathy Schmeling.
Okay. Kathy would be on on the right. She would be right there.
Okay. And you said the other person was who?
Lola
Okay, can you circle Lola?
Hospel. She is the wife of Bill that was hit.
Okay.
That wasn't the question.
What did he just say irrelevant?
She is the wife of Bill that was hit.
Okay.
That wasn't the question.
How are you gonna tell her that her answer doesn't? What?
Noted. It's overruled. Her answer may stand. Next question.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
And you stated that Wilhelm or Bill was a support person that was marching the parade that day.
Yes.
What did you know about Lola?
Lola was the mother figure. She was, I think, the oldest in the grannies. And she was rather on the quiet side, but she was just friendly with everyone.
Okay. Was she in the grannies when you joined 8 years?
Oh, yeah, she was in quite a long time, similar to Ginny.
Okay. So continuing on from 28 seconds, I'd ask that we continue playing it.
I have a feeling he's gonna be especially aggressive in this cross exam.
Pause. The state paused at 34 seconds. Can you identify the person who is behind Lola and Kathy in the video?
Yeah, she would be in the middle. That is...
Hold on. There's been an objection. It's overruled.
Grounds.
She may answer.
Grounds.
That's Tamara. Rosentier, it's hard to pronounce her name, but Rosentier.
Rosentreater? Would that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you circle her on the screen?
Okay, that's her right there.
Okay. And what can you tell us about Ms. Rosentreater?
She was, I would say, about 5 years into the group, 4 to 5 years. And fun person, very friendly. All of us are very friendly.
Okay. You seem like you might be.
Yeah.
Okay, if we
Exactly.
can clear the screen and continue from 34 seconds. And if we can pause the screen here.
Okay.
Okay, the next two people are behind Ms. Rosentreater.
Tamara, yeah.
And can you identify those people?
Yes. This is Tamara Duran.
So you had two Tamaras on your team?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And 2 Kathys, too. but-
Okay.
And this is Kathy
Is that Zartek?
Zartek or
Leading the
something
witness.
like that.
Hold on. There has been an objection.
Okay.
I'll sustain the objection on leading grounds. Her answer may stand, but I would again caution the state to...
And I would just note for the record, Exhibit 54 is in front of this witness, and it does have the first and last names, and she's already said that it accurately reflects the people who are marching with the Dancing Grannies on November 21st of last year.
That was not the question. It was leading.
Understood. For purposes of identification, though, I'm going to instruct her to turn the Exhibit 54 over to make sure that her testimony today is from her recollection and not from reading from a form. So if you could turn that over.
This is gonna
please.
be an aggravating day. He's sitting here with his nose up in the air as if he's just aggravated at what's going on. Like, I can tell I'm gonna have to go back and look at the sentencing video just to see that look on his face when he gets 700 years. Like, I need to watch something after this to just like get this image out of my head, because he's sitting here acting as if we're bothering him, having him in court.
Paper
for hitting
document
people.
that you have. There you go. Thank you. Go ahead.
Now you circled, can you circle Tamara Durand again, Tamara?
Okay, this is Tamara Duran.
Okay.
This would be Kathy Z.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to look at that
Directing
video
your
after
attention
this.
to Miss Durand, can you tell us a little bit about her?
I'm sorry.
Directing your attention to Miss Durand, can you tell
Yes.
us a little bit about her?
She was new, and this again was her first parade. She was so excited about being a granny because she had worked for months and months to learn all the routines.
Oh.
And when she knew she would be in that Christmas parade, she was so excited. She just couldn't wait. So she was looking forward to doing all the parades. That was the first and last parade she ever did.
If we can clear the screen and continue on with the video from 42 seconds.
I'm going to visit Waukesha one day. I have to. Like, hold on. I don't know if they're going to start talking. I had another interaction today with somebody from Waukesha, and it is insane how nice these people are.
Last
I
but not
just want to
least,
say it.
That
hopefully
would
you
be
get
me.
this one. Okay, that's
Hold
you.
on.
That's me.
I actually didn't hear what she just said. Give me 1 second.
If we can pause it.
Okay.
Last but not least,
That
hopefully
would
you
be
get
me.
this one. Okay, that's you.
That's me.
Okay, if you can circle you on the diagram, I think there's only one person in it. And you said you've been with the Dancing Grannies for 8 years, correct?
Yes.
Okay, if we can clear this, and I stopped it at 1 minute and 9 seconds. If we can continue forward.
But yeah, I talked to another person from Waukesha, Wisconsin. And it's to the
pause?
point where every time I hear,
Music vehicle.
Who drove that vehicle on that day?
Pardon?
Who drove the vehicle on that day?
My husband.
Okay. And you see a figure entering into the screenshot. Do you know who that is?
This would be Bill.
Okay. Thank you. And that's Bill Wilhelm?
Pardon?
Do you know the last name?
It's been rephrased.
Hospital.
Okay.
That would be Bill Hospital.
Okay. And do you recall him wearing a hat that day? As shown in the picture?
Objection, leading the witness.
Overrule.
Grounds.
Relevant.
the grounds is it's not leading the witness, idiot.
You may answer.
Okay. Bill was just walking
I'm sorry.
up
This dude is like
behind-
aggravating today.
Tamara Duran, and gonna be offering
Ms.
her some
I'm not
ice.
sure you heard the question, if the state could re-ask it.
Certainly. In looking at the picture, was Mr. Hospital wearing a hat that day?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. And during pretty much the entire route of the parade, was he usually in back of you or in front of your position?
He's on the side of us.
Okay. And usually on the side that he's on right now?
Sometimes he would be on the other. It just depended how many people we had to give ice on any particular parade.
Okay. And was it cold that day? Do you remember?
Yes, it was pretty cold.
Okay. I did stop the video at 1 minute and 20 seconds, and I am done with this exhibit. At some point during
I'm
the
surprised he
parade,
didn't
did you hear-
object just to do it
Strike that.
just now.
Were you always with the formation that you?
Hold on. Screenshot time. How stupid this dude looks, bro. It's just wild to me. Like, he's already getting on my nerves
Testified
today.
about, were you always the last dancer in the formation?
No,
On November 21st, 2021, were you the last dancer in the formation throughout that parade route?
for this parade I was.
Okay.
We took, if there's an even number, nobody is in the slot. But if there's an odd number, there was no partner, so we just would take turns. Each different person at each different parade would be in the slot.
Okay. So at some point, did you hear something unusual behind you during the parade?
No, because the music vehicle was right behind me.
Did you at any time turn
That makes
around and
sense.
see something unusual?
Yeah, as we were going and I was dancing, when I would turn I seen a streak of red coming on my right side.
How fast was that streak of red going?
It was going pretty fast.
Hold on. The objection's noted, it's overruled, her answer may stand.
Grounds for the overrule.
Relevance.
So your answer stands, which you said it was going pretty fast?
Yes, it just like whizzed past me. It wasn't just going slow.
As it was going past you, who was in the area prior to it going past you on, and I'm assuming you lifted your right arm, was that on your right side as you were marching down Main Street?
Yes.
Okay. Who was in that area prior to that red streak coming through?
Kitty corner for me, that would be Bill and Tamara Darrell.
Did you get the opportunity to see what that red streak was?
Yeah, and shortly, in a few seconds later, the red vehicle was right in front of me, going down the center of, to me, just pointing to the center of the parade route.
So right in front of you.
Yes.
How close did that red streak come to you?
I would say a few feet. He had to go around the car, the music vehicle.
He's going to object.
And then the right on the right side, and that's when Bill and Tamara were hit.
So when you were in front,
I'm surprised he didn't object. She just said he.
Back of the parade lineup.
He let it go.
How far were you directly in front of the music car?
Several feet.
And the red vehicle that you've identified, it went to the right of
It
the
came
music car?
from the right side, yes.
And you stated it hit Bill and Tamara, correct?
They were the first ones, because they were just kitty corner from me, several feet.
Then where did it go?
Um,
This vehicle.
Then I noticed, I didn't see them get hit, because it all happened so quick that I was still dancing, and all of a sudden I seen the red car in front of me, and I screamed either in my head or out loud, I don't know which, but I said, "What is he doing? Where's he going?" And I just screamed it because it was so unusual, and I knew if he was going down the center of the parade route, he was going to be hurting a lot of people. And he wasn't going slow. He was going at a good clip.
Did, from the time that you saw the red vehicle on your right, striking Bill and Tamara, did you see it slow down at all?
Did I what?
See the vehicle slow down?
No, it just hit them, and as he was coming in, he started then going toward the middle, where he hit two more people, and then veered to the left and killed two more.
You said it was a red vehicle. Did you get a general description of the vehicle? What type of car? Was it a car, a sedan, a pickup truck?
No, it was like a SUV or something. It wasn't just a car. It was a van or, something on that order, SUV.
So as the vehicle went through, did it stop after it struck? I think you said it struck the people in the front. Who were the people that you just testified to that died?
Objection, lead the witness.
Overruled.
Grounds.
He came from the right, hit two.
Oh, one moment.
Whoops.
Sorry.
He's not
You're,
muted.
you're doing completely
Go
fine.
ahead, you may answer.
The man baby needs to be tended to right now, so I'm very sorry about this. The adults are trying to speak, but the man baby needs to be spoken to.
It came from the right, hit two people, and then veered toward the middle. And that's when I really seen him. And then hit 2 more people, veered to the left, and hit 2 more.
And the last 2 people that were struck, do you know who those people were?
Yes, I believe they were Ginny and Lee.
And you testify that both of those people died as a result of being struck?
They were killed instantly. And because the car came from the back, oops.
That's okay. There's not a question. Wait till the question is asked.
Okay.
After the car struck Ginny, and she would have been in the front of the parade still carrying the banner, is that correct?
Yes. She was on the
I'm not
far
excited
left,
about this
right in front
cross-exam.
of Ginny.
After that occurred, did you see the vehicle stop?
No.
Vehicle kept going?
Yes.
Did you see the path of travel it took after it struck Ginny?
Well, after it struck Ginny, it was sort of on the left side of the street, and it just kept barreling through.
I'm going to bring up Exhibit 54 again.
Go ahead.
And I'd ask that be published to the jury. It's previously been admitted as evidence.
Go ahead.
Objection.
He doesn't even know what he's objecting to.
Exhibit 50.
I'm sorry, I didn't even hear what he said. I really don't care to hear what he's saying, but
Admitted as evidence.
let me see.
Objection. What's the relevancy of the video?
Exhibit 54. The court's already admitted it. It is shown to the jury. Go ahead.
Ma'am, can you, when the car went through, can you approximate where Bill was on this chart? You can put an X where you think he was.
Bill was about
Objection.
here.
I thought the sheet wasn't being shown.
Um,
You specifically made a ruling for the sheet to be turned over.
that was during her testimony. She's now being asked to annotate the exhibit. So it's proper. Your objection's noted. It's overruled. Go ahead.
Thank you. Can you,
So now he's making it a thing to where, like, and once again, these are the delay tactics. I mean, we already recognize this stuff, but now he's making it, well, now at least I see him going into, like, full throttle with that stuff, which is every move that is made, every question pretty much that is asked, he's going to force them to stop and explain it to him because Fisher Price attorney.
show the jury using this chart, and maybe you just using a line, the path that the red
But really, it's
vehicle
just because
took.
he wants to be annoying.
It struck there, hit Tamara, Betty, Lee, and then Ginny.
Thank you. If we can take a screenshot of that, and it would be State's Exhibit 54A, I believe. And you stated after it struck your group, it continued going in the left hand?
Yes.
side? Do you know what group was in front of you?
What was in,
I'm sorry, do you know what parade group was in front of the dancing grannies? And if you don't remember, that's okay.
yeah, I'm not real sure.
That's fine.
For the record, the court did capture the annotation and marked it as 54A.
After the vehicle went by, what did you do?
After when I noticed that vehicle in front of me, and then it went toward the left and continued going down, it all happened in a matter of seconds. And after the car kept going, I looked on the road, and all I seen were bodies. I thought I was in a war because there were just so many, and I just went into shock, and I just grabbed my jacket like this and went to each body to see who it was and if I could help.
This is so... Oh, this is messed up. This sweet old woman, dude, had to see something like this. Like, do you hear this? Do you hear how she just described it? It looked like a war zone. And once again, all these people out here trying to do a good thing, people bringing their families to have a decent time, and one coward with a miserable life has to do something like this. Like,
You said that you grabbed your jacket. You held both sides of your jacket up to your neck area. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, I think I
Relevancy.
needed.
Hold on. The objection's noted. It's overruled. Her answer and the description provided for the record by Attorney Basie, I would note, was accurate. You may continue.
Grounds for the.
She just gave it to you, so.
Already noted. Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
So you said that you were in shock.
I just went into shock seeing the body. So I needed to hold on to something, I think. So I just grabbed this and just went from body to body. And then the people were running into the road with blankets, and anybody that was in the medical group quick came and were helping the people that were laying in the road to see if they could help.
The people that you saw laying in the road, were all of those people from your group?
Objection,
Yes.
hearsay.
Overruled, not hearsay. Just a reminder, once again, let me rule on the objection before you answer. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
It's not her
Walk
fault.
us
He's just
through
objecting to everything,
What
so.
you went up to and what you observed after you said you started going to each of the bodies to check and see if you could help.
Like I say, the people from the sidewalk, they just ran into the road to help.
Spectators?
Spectators from the sidewalk, yes. They were wonderful to try to help, bringing blankets to cover the people, to keep them warm. Then there was someone from I think it was the tavern, the bar right there, and someone came out and had us, kind of corralled us, me, Sharon, and Kathy, into the tavern to give us some warm coffee or something to drink. But I couldn't stay in there. I had to be out there, and I had to know what was going on and how badly anybody was hurt.
And this coincides with the point I was making last time, which is he tries to make it sound normal to, like, as soon as you see someone beside you get hit, instead of you trying to help them or just being in shock, like once again she said, he thinks that instead of doing that, which is the normal human thing to do, that you would look at his vehicle, look at the license plate, look to see who's driving, like that type of stuff. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what she's saying that she did is a completely normal human reaction. And I'm not excited about the cross-exam because he's going to try to make it sound as if, like, he's just going to try to really trip her up, confuse her. Like, it's going to be really, it's going to be bad, man.
Who did you go up to?
I'm not looking forward to
I
it.
went back, I was on the road again, and just looking who was being helped and who was not quite being helped yet, and how badly they were hurt. I could not even find Tamara and Lee.
Okay. And when you say Tamara Durand or Tamara Rosentreater?
Durand.
Okay. So you couldn't find Tamara or Lee Owen? Okay.
Sorry. Did you hear her ask, was that Lee Owen?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the two of them. I couldn't find. The rest of the people were accounted for, but I didn't know where they were, so when they were hit, they went flying on the sidewalk.
Okay. So,
And that's why I didn't see them on the road.
okay. You said yourself, Kathy Zadarsduk, Kathy Schmaling, the three of you went into the bar initially. Is that correct?
When they came out, they told us, come on in here and get warm and have something warm to drink. And
Were you injured as a result did you get struck by the red vehicle?
no,
Did you see injuries, or do you know if Kathy Schmaling or Kathy Zadarsduk got hit by the red vehicle?
I don't believe so, because Sharon, Kathy, and I were, Kathy Z, were kind of walking in the road trying to see if everyone was being helped.
How about, you said Sharon was also looking to see if people were being helped. Did you
Yes.
observe any injuries on Sharon?
No. We were the three more or less that, and the fourth one was Kathy Schmeling, and she immediately went on the sidewalk, and I think it was a sister or someone was on the sidewalk watching the parade. She quick ran up to Kathy and took Kathy right home.
Kathy's sister, Kathy Schmeling's sister, took Kathy Schmeling home?
Yes, because she was crying, standing there on the sidewalk, and she was kind of uncontrollable.
Okay. So let's go, who were the first people that you saw as you walked out to check on people?
Sharon, I seen her.
I'm sorry, of the injured people.
Oh.
Who did you see of the injured people? Approximately where were they and what did you observe?
Okay, I went straight ahead, and it was mainly Tamara.
Rosentreater?
Yes. And then it was Betty String.
Were they both on the ground?
Yes, they were laying in the road.
Did you see, were they
And-
able to move?
Pardon?
Were they able to move?
Not much, because the people were telling them to lay still, because I believe Betty had 2 skull fractures, and they didn't want her to move her head or anything. But yet she was awake, and she could talk.
Okay.
So
How about Tamara Rosentreater?
now she had several broken bones, ribs, arm and wrist, leg. So she had a lot of broken bones, but she too could talk and communicate.
How about Lola Haspel?
Lola immediately ran to her husband. He was laying kind of on the sidewalk, because when he was hit, he just went toward the sidewalk. And now he was hurt. He wasn't killed instantly. And she had a blanket for him, and she stayed with him until the ambulance came and took him to the hospital.
Did Bill recover from the injuries sustained by that vehicle?
No, he didn't. He died during surgery.
Did you note any injuries or find out of any injuries to Lola Haspel?
No.
And Lee Owen, you said you could not find. Did you find Lee at all that evening?
Yes. Later, the police had me identify.
I'm sorry, that's insane. Like, this entire scene that she's explaining is beyond sad, man. Like, did you hear how she just described it? Bill got hit, and then his wife ran up to him and put a blanket over him and held him until the ambulance got there. Like, this entire thing, dude, it's very tragic, man. Like,
Fire. They had.
I'm gonna
her
let it play
picture
for a
on
little
their
bit.
phone, and because I asked where Lee was, and they showed me, is this Lee? And it was her. She was thrown on the sidewalk. That's why I didn't see her in the road.
Do you know what side of the sidewalk she was, or what side of the road she was thrown on?
She was on the left.
So as you're marching down Main Street, she was on the left side?
Yes, she was right behind Ginny.
Okay. And the picture that they showed you of Lee, was she alive when they took that picture?
No, she was killed instantly.
And Ginny, did you see Ginny that night?
Ginny was killed instantly also. She was right there on the road.
Again, on the left-hand side?
Yes.
And did you go by Bill Haspel?
Bill was on the right side. He kind of was thrown on the sidewalk.
Did you go by him at all, or?
Yes,
Objection.
I talked to him.
Hold on, there's been an objection.
Oh, I didn't hear him.
It's overruled. And
I wish
her
we all
answer that
could
she
hear
gave
him.
me
I
stated.
didn't even state the objection, but
Who cares? We know it's pointless.
Ma'am, I'm going to show you what's been previously marked and admitted into evidence, which is Exhibit 15. It's going to show up on your screen, okay? Let me know when you see it in front of you. And I'd
Okay.
ask that it be published to the jury as well. It's previously been admitted into evidence.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. At some point here, we're gonna take a little break and watch the moment that he received 700 years, because he's acting like hearing what she's describing right now and how just messed up this whole thing is, man. Like, and then that, along with the fact that he's acting like a complete baby, man. We're gonna watch that 700-year sentence get dropped on his head in a little bit, but
Ma'am,
let's
can
let her
you,
testimony
is this
finish.
look to be Main Street, the parade route from November 21st of 2021?
objection. Leading the witness.
Sustained as to the form of the question, please rephrase.
Do you know what Exhibit 15 is?
No, I don't know what this really is.
Okay. Does it appear to be a map or something else?
Objection.
Pardon?
Leading the witness.
Overruled. She may answer that.
Does it appear to be a map or something else?
Yes, where there's a lot of names and kind of a map.
Okay. Do you see a purple line on that map?
Yeah, with all the purple stars on.
Or I don't know if they're purple stars, but I see some yellow stars, some orange stars.
Yes.
Objection.
Yes.
Leading the witness.
This has previously been marked and admitted into evidence. I think I can direct her attention to these items.
Agreed.
I think the
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. This exhibit has previously been received.
I think the stars the color are pretty obvious what they are.
There's various color stars, and
There's
again,
only
the
two
exhibit's
color
been
stars.
received. The jury can determine for itself later on what colors they are and the meaning of them.
All right, we're gonna take a little break here and watch this 700-year sentence, because the coward seems to feel as if we care that he's agitated today. So give me 1 second, why don't you?
Did the
I want to see the
defendant
part
commit
where he
first
look
degree
at this.
intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer: yes.
I
Find
guess
the
no more
defendant
questions about
Darrell E.
subject
Brooks
matter jurisdiction.
guilty of
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to take a quick moment to look at that just to remind myself none of this was in vain. Like, we have to deal with this, but ultimately what we got was justice. So, there you go.
But go ahead, you may ask your next question of this witness.
And you see the street the long street that's depicted on Exhibit 15. Do you see a name on that street?
Okay,
Do you see it?
yes.
And what is it?
I see all the stars. I don't know what the question.
Do you see a name on the street on the map?
Okay, let me see.
For example, go ahead.
Main Street, Broadway.
So is Main Street the street that you were on when you were marching and your group got hit?
I believe it was.
Okay. Now, if you go to look to the bottom left, there is a box that's labeled Dancing Grannies. Do
Yes.
you see that?
Yes.
And it has 7 names in that box. Are those all part of the Dancing Grannies?
objection. Leading the witness.
Overruled. She may answer.
Grounds.
She
I
may
may
answer.
answer.
Go ahead.
With the exception of Bill, he was Lola's husband.
Yes. I'm sure he would appreciate that distinction that he was not one of the dancers.
Right.
All those people were associated with the Dancing Grannies,
Yes.
and the people in red are the ones that you testified are deceased as a result of being struck that day. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the other 3 that are in green are those people who were injured as a result of being struck that day?
Okay, 1, 2, Yes, Lola wasn't really injured. She just was with Bill when he was injured
Okay.
to keep him calm.
Okay. And you see that there's a black line that directs it to a yellow star. Do you see that?
Objection, leading the witness.
Yes.
Overruled. This exhibit has previously been received. It's fair for the state to direct the witness's attention to a particular part. And her answer may stand.
Does that appear to be the location where your group was struck?
Okay, yes.
It does?
It looks like it would be, yes.
Thank you. We can take that off the screen. I'd now like to show Exhibit 55.
Go ahead. I'm assuming just to this.
Yes, just the witness.
have
If we
my
can
notes open.
play it for approximately, first of all, do you see it in front of your screen?
Yes.
Okay. Starting at 00, we're going to play it for approximately 10 seconds, and then I'll ask you some questions about it, okay? Thank you. Does that accurately depict what occurred to your group on November 21st, 2021?
Yes, it
Oh
does.
no, it's the footage of
I'm
him
going to ask that it be admitted into
striking
evidence
the actual
and
group.
published to the jury.
Objection.
Overruled.
Grounds.
It's relevant. Permission to publish is granted. Exhibit 55 is received.
And Your Honor, this clip is 15 seconds long. I would ask that the full clip be played at this time.
Go ahead.
Oh no.
Ma'am, the group that you saw on the right-hand side of the screen, was that the Dancing Grannies?
Yes, it was.
And did you see headlights coming through your group?
No, because it came from the back.
I'm sorry, in the video, did you see headlights
Oh,
coming through?
yes.
Objection, leading the witness.
Yes.
Overruled. She may answer.
And you answered?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And was that the path of travel you recalled seeing the red vehicle take as it went by you on the right and went through your group?
Yes.
Okay. I want to show it one more time for the jury so that they can now focus on the headlights on the vehicle.
Objection. Relevancy.
Your objection's noted. It's overruled. Permission to publish once again
Grounds.
is granted.
And Your Honor, the state is going to play it at 50%.
Grounds. Objection. Grounds.
Noted. Overruled.
No one cares, dude.
Grounds.
Relevance.
If you can start,
And-
please.
I request legal reconsideration of your ruling.
Denied.
Grounds of the denial. For the record, may I request a legal or factual basis for your ruling?
Dude, can you shut up? For the love of goodness, can you shut up? Like, I don't know if I'm just annoyed today. Like, I don't know if I just started this video kind of annoyed. But it's like, she's sitting here looking at a video of you run through a parade, man. Can you shut up? You know? And even in that video that I just watched, somebody mentioned, like this dude honestly in no way, shape, or form has any sort of remorse. Like, none. He's sitting here and what he did to ruin people's lives is right here being displayed in front of him. And he's still talking. Mike, dude. He's gonna keep talking too. I'm just gonna let him do his
Is that a
thing.
legal determination, Your Honor? Are you making a judicial determination?
You may continue. Attorney Basie.
Did you see the body come forward and fly in front of the truck?
No, me being in
I'm
back.
sorry, in the video, did you see the body
Objection.
flying in front of the truck?
It's not
No.
leading.
In the video that you just saw, you didn't see it?
Oh, yeah, on the
Gross.
video, but not.
That was
And
loud.
do you know who that was?
That made me jump. I don't know if that came through in the
yes.
video, but
Who was that?
When they had it on TV, that was
No,
the man, right?
I'm sorry. Who was the body that went flying?
she
in the
pointed him
street
out.
that came towards in
I'm
front
so
of the
happy she
screen?
pointed him
Hold
out.
on 1 second. That last answer, I'm gonna, because it was non-responsive, but I'm gonna strike it, instruct the jury to disregard it, and then if you could state your question.
I wish it would stay.
If we can go to
I really wish that answer would stay. I really do. I don't believe she pointed him out in a way where she said that she saw him, but I still wish it would stay.
55 again, to approximately the 10-second mark.
Are you withdrawing that last question then?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Can that be struck? The question?
It's been withdrawn.
Can it be struck from the record?
It's been withdrawn.
May it be struck from the record?
There does not need to be struck, so the request is denied. It's been withdrawn.
May I ask for a legal and factual
Remarks
basis
of
for
the
your ruling?
attorneys and questions of the attorneys are not evidence. It's the answers that are evidence, so that's why it's not being struck. You may continue, Attorney Basie.
Thank you. Do you see a body probably in the
Have
middle
to sit
of
here
the
and
screen
explain
on
it
the
to this day.
left-hand side? On the ground?
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
Well, it's hard to tell who it's, but that would probably be Ginny.
Okay, thank you. I'm now going to show you just you. It'll be in front of you on the screen, Exhibit 152. Exhibit 152 is 14 seconds in length. I'm going to show it to the witness, the entire 14 seconds, to see if she recognizes this.
Oh gosh.
Do you recognize what's depicted in that video as what occurred and what you saw on November 21st of last year?
Yes,
Okay.
but when the car hit them, it was on my side, and I didn't see them flying
Okay.
or anything. I
Correct.
just
But you saw the car come through, and you previously testified that you saw the car strike them. You didn't see where they went. Is that correct?
Objection, leaving the witness.
Overruled. That answer may stand.
I'm going to ask that.
It's insane how like we can't see the actual video, but just based on her reaction, you can tell just how gruesome it is, and it makes me feel like uncomfortable that she has to look at it. But like we mentioned in the other video, Law and Crime, they did a really good job in making sure we don't see too much, and that really does a great job too to show. That does a great job as well to show respect to the victims. The fact that we didn't see that, so.
That this be admitted into evidence and published to the jury.
Objection. Where's the relevancy?
The
Grounds for
objection's
relevance.
noted, it's overruled, and Exhibit 152 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Grounds for your ruling, Your Honor.
Relevance.
I'm going to play it at full speed initially, and then I'm going to play it at 50%. So I will ask you questions after I play it full speed, okay?
mm-hmm.
If we can play the whole 15 seconds with sound.
He's such a clown. Pure clown, man. What is he agitated about? Like, what did he... Oh my god, these noises.
Ma'am, who did that
You
red
can hear it.
strike in that exhibit, Exhibit 152?
Objection. Leading the witness. Saw the video. Saw the
tomorrow
video.
during-
Hold on, there's been an objection, everyone. The objection is noted, it's overruled. Now you may answer the
Grounds for
question.
the overrule, Your Honor.
It's overruled, you may answer.
Grounds for the overrule, Your Honor.
Go ahead, you may answer.
Tomorrow Duran.
Thank you. I'm now going to play it at 50% speed for the jury.
What does he want us to care so bad about that he's agitated? Like, dude, you're a grown man. What do you want? He acts like he wants us all to do something for him. And it's like, dude, no, you're here because of what you did. When nobody's letting you out.
And that was the car that you saw travel in front of you?
Yes.
Objection, leading the witness.
Overruled.
Grounds for the overrule, Your Honor.
It's overruled. Next
Grounds.
question.
Ma'am, I'm now going to, if I did not already do it, I'd ask that Exhibit 152 be admitted into evidence. I would then direct the witness's attention to Exhibit 153, which will show just in front of your screen, okay?
Grounds.
Exhibit 152 was received already.
And when I say, I'm sorry I'm pausing a lot, but when I say, you know, what do you want from us? What I mean is this dude acts as if the world owes him something. Like, he acts as if we're all supposed to, like, kneel down and make sure that he's taken care of, like, just Darrell Brooks or something. Like, dude, you a grown man. Like, I don't know if he was raised where he was, like, spoiled or something, or if he didn't get enough attention, but all this stuff is just weird, man. Like, it's really weird to see a grown man act like this. I don't take any enjoyment out of this kind of stuff. I mean, this whole case is uncomfortable, but just like seeing this dude act like this is weird.
The witness and the parties, but not published.
Objection, I do not consent to or agree to being called that name, Your Honor, for the record.
Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
Thank you. This clip
Would that be noted for the record, Your Honor?
Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
Thank you.
May that be noted for the
Mr.
record, Your
Brooks,
Honor?
stop interrupting.
I just want to make sure.
Mr. Brooks, stop.
He wants us all to recognize that he's basically playing imaginary and wants us all to play along.
This clip is 38 seconds in length, Your Honor. Again, I'm going to show you the first 5 seconds of this clip and ask if it accurately reflects your observations from November 21st of last year. If you can start. Ma'am, is that your group in the Waukesha Christmas Parade last November?
Yes.
Okay. I'd ask that Exhibit 153 be admitted into evidence and be published for the jury.
Objection. Relevancy.
Exhibit 153 is received. It may be published to the jury. The objection is noted and overruled.
Ma'am, I'm going to have it played at full speed, and then I'll ask you some questions and then play it at half speed, okay?
Clear bites.
Oh, the sounds.
Ma'am, what did you see in Exhibit 153 that was just played before you?
I seen Bill being hit and thrown towards the sidewalk.
And that's Bill Hostel?
Yes.
And I'm going to show it now to you and the jury. Just a clip of it, starting at 0 seconds at 50% speed. What I'm going to be asking you about is where you are in this clip. Okay? So if you can start it. I see we may have a future granny in front of us here with the green hair.
Sure looks like it.
Objection. Relevancy.
Your objections noted, sustained. The jury will strike that last question and answer. I mean, the jury will disregard that last answer.
Now, if you look at the street, pause. Sorry, keep going. If we can pause it now at 21 seconds. I would just ask, did you see after Bill Hospital was struck, did you see some feet coming through the screen on the bottom at the very end of that clip?
Objection, relevancy.
I seen him in the legs, yeah.
Okay. And then did you see your feet, Mark? That would have been the approximate area that he was hit. Did you see your feet in the video at the end? It's fine if you didn't. It's
Not really.
Nice. Okay. Thank you. Nothing further. Thank you.
Ma'am, I'm going to give Mr. Brooks an opportunity to ask you questions as well. Please answer those for him. Go ahead, you're cross.
During your testimony, you kept referring to he. Who were you referring to when you said he?
I can't understand him.
Can you please state your question a little bit louder? She was not able
Yeah.
to hear.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
You need to be closer to the microphone or project your voice, okay?
I got it.
Thank you.
During your testimony, you kept referring to a he. Like a lot of times you would say he. Who were you referring to by the he? Who did you mean by the he?
He,
Yes.
when it was showing Bill,
No, not
Bill
the,
would be the he.
What a stupid way to phrase a question. That is just what? Why did he put he? Like, okay, I know what he's trying to say. This is exactly. Sorry, I'm pausing a lot. I told you he was gonna ask her about the fact that she kept referring to the vehicle as he when it was going by her, but I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was gonna phrase the question so stupidly. Like, what? What you got to say now?
before today, have you seen any of those videos before today?
No.
You stated that you saw a red vehicle strike the grannies. Do you remember if that was, or let me back up. Do you remember what type of vehicle you saw?
It was like an SUV. It wasn't just a car. It was, the flat back. I'm bad for cars. And all I know is I'd seen the red streak, and then all of a sudden I seen the car in front of me.
So would you describe it as a car?
It was a vehicle.
And how close did it come to you, if you recall?
I would say several feet. I was in front of the music vehicle, and it came around the music vehicle on the right side, and that's where Bill and Tamara were. And I was a little bit this way because I was directly behind the music vehicle.
Were you able to see into the vehicle in any way?
Was I able to what?
To see inside of the vehicle?
No, because it came.
Let me drop the volume a little bit. That's just. Hopefully it doesn't peak too much for you guys. I got my volume up a little high, so I'll probably drop it in the editing, so it's not too bad.
Behind me.
So you didn't get a look at the driver at all?
No, I don't have eyes in the back of my head.
Darrell seems to think you do. He seems to think everyone's looking at him when he comes through, apparently.
Do you recall what happened when people were struck by the vehicle?
No, I couldn't see them being struck from where I was. The vehicle was big, and it was after the vehicle went through our group that I seen all the people that were struck.
Earlier you testified to people being thrown to the side of the street. Would it be fair to say that, and I'm going off your last answer to the last question, would it be fair to say that you didn't see that with your own eyes?
No, that's where they were found.
But you didn't see it with your own eyes?
No, I couldn't. Sorry about that.
You also stated that a few of the people that were struck died instantly. Would that be fair to say?
That died instantly, you mean?
Yeah, you stated that a few people that were struck died instantly. Would that be fair to say?
Some of them, yeah.
And
2 were injured, and
how would you know for sure that they died instantly if you didn't see them struck?
because the police found 2 of them on the sidewalk, one on the left, one on the right. They were already dead.
So were you told by the police that they were dead?
That what?
Were you told by the police that they had passed away?
I could see they were working on them and weren't getting anywhere. They were trying to get the heart started with the heart machines. Nothing was working.
And you know that for sure?
I seen them working on them, yes. Not all of them, but on some of them.
So was it fair to say at that time that you had no medical diagnosis at that point in time?
Nobody gives nobody diagnosis. They just were working on them and trying to get them revived, but they couldn't do it.
So it would be fair to say at that time you had no knowledge.
What is the point of these questions? Because they actually did pass away. So what is he trying to prove here? Like, what does this do? What does this do for the jury when they hear this? Like, what is this point going to do in the grand scheme of what he's trying to do, which is to not be found guilty? How does this help? Other than just him being wicked, like, I don't...
Of the injuries.
I don't get it.
No.
You stated that, I believe it was a Kathy. Did you know a Kathy that was part of your group?
Yes, 2 Kathys.
You stated, I don't remember which one, but you stated that one of the Kathys had a sister or something.
Yes, on the sidewalk watching the parade.
Do you recall the sister's name?
No.
Are you sure it was a sister or maybe just a relative?
Could have been a sister or a relative. I figured it was a sister.
So it would be fair to say you didn't know for sure who it was.
Asked and answered.
It was someone in the
Go
family.
ahead, you may answer. Go ahead, you may answer.
Okay, it was someone in her family that was trying to console her, but she was just standing there out of control, weeping and...
You
He's gonna keep pressing.
That, there was a music van of some sort?
a music vehicle.
And you also stated that you couldn't hear what was going on behind you because the music van, would that be fair to say?
That's right. I didn't hear anything. I just seen a red streak when it came past me.
So would it be fair to say that if a vehicle was honking a horn, you wouldn't have heard it if it was behind you?
I don't know. No, there was no horns.
But you don't know for sure because you stated that the music was playing pretty loudly. Would that be fair to say?
That's for sure. But whether I would hear a horn or not, I don't know.
Were you able to see a license plates number of the vehicle?
No.
License plate.
I was just shocked that a vehicle would be in the parade route. I didn't have time to read a license plate.
Right. And I'm liking the extra commentary, as Darrell would put it. But yeah, I mean, I've already said this a bunch of times at this point. He tries to make it seem as if that's like a weird thing. You wouldn't stop to look at him, but it's a normal human reaction to want to help the people beside you or something. Like if it's your friend that you just saw get hit, you're going to be traumatized. You're going to be wanting to help them and
And
everything.
you stated that there's also a member of your group named Lola.
Named what?
Lola?
Lola. Yes, it was her husband, Bill.
And she, to your knowledge, to your recollection, Lola was not injured?
No.
You spoke with knowledge of a lot of the injuries. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Have you yourself ever had any medical training of any kind?
No, my family is all in the medical field.
Have you yourself ever been
No.
in the medical field?
No.
Did you see anyone behind you struck?
No, because I was behind the music vehicle. I mean, in front of the music vehicle.
And you yourself weren't injured, right?
No. The car couldn't get at me because they would have to go through the car.
That's true. If that vehicle wasn't there,
You stated
hold on.
that you went inside of a building at some point, or
Yes.
one of the businesses,
Yes.
and you stated that you couldn't stay in there because you wanted to see how bad everything was outside. Would that be fair to say?
Well, I was outside first, walking and seeing everybody, then watching them work on them, and the tavern was trying to comfort us by inviting us in for coffee or water, something to get us. But I couldn't stay in there. I had to be out there with them people.
Do you recall about how long you stayed in the tavern? I think you said it was before you
Yeah,
went back out.
I would say between 5 minutes and 10.
So when were you informed by, I guess I would say, medical personnel of the injuries to your group?
When I seen them working on them, they had the heart machine on Ginny, and blood was pouring out of her mouth, and I knew she was gone. There was no doubt about it.
At any time during the incident, did medical personnel come to you and
No.
tell you injuries?
No, just the police came to me to know that where Lee was, because I was wondering where she was, and the police showed me her photo and said that she was gone.
At one point in your earlier testimony, you pointed to the defendant table and said, that's him from the news. Any reason why you would say that?
From the news. I didn't say that.
You testified that you pointed to the defendant's table and said, that's him from the news.
Why do you think she said it? Yo, okay. Let me not get frustrated while I'm saying this stuff. This is just like, once again, the Fisher-Price attorney stuff, it's always in full effect. He knows why she said that. First of all, she was confused about the question that they were asking. I think, she just thought that they were asking her, do you recognize that man or something from the news? Like, he knows why she said that. And, I can't remember. Did Judge Jennifer say that was striking? I don't believe she did. But either way, like, it carries no weight, so I have no idea why he's saying that. It wasn't as if, like, they asked her a question and said, do you recognize who drove the vehicle? And then she pointed to him. All she said was, I recognize him from the news, which he is. I'm sure he's plastered all over the news, I'm sure that, especially here in the city, in Waukesha, they're just playing him on the news because this is a major topic. This is a major tragedy that happened. So I have no idea why he's, once again, just some pointless stuff.
Mid-sentence.
I wasn't saying that at all.
So have you ever seen any news coverage of the incident?
From Lola, I knew that Bill had died during surgery that evening. And so I knew that from her because she was at the hospital with him. I knew about...
Ma'am, did you hear the question about seeing news reports? And just be a little more specific on the time,
I don't
okay?
know what you mean about news reports.
He asks questions in the dumbest way possible, ma'am. It is not your fault at all. We all have to deal with this. This is insane.
Okay.
At any time,
he's gonna be put in the cage by the end of it. I don't know what's going on.
Do you recall seeing any news reports related to the incident? At any time?
It was on the news. Yes.
So it would be fair to say that you watched reports of the incident.
When it was on the regular news in the evening.
Was it?
They didn't cover much of it. They just showed that the dancing grannies, that.
Would it be fair to say you learned additional information that you didn't have when you were at the incident from the news?
Not from the news, I didn't know.
Okay.
I knew from the family.
So would it be fair to say that before you received information from the families, you weren't sure of the exact injuries to the grannies in your group?
Some of them I knew right away.
And
because of the police.
Did you know just from observation, or were you told?
She just said. She literally just said it.
I was pretty much told.
She said it now like 3 times.
And from the videos that you saw here today, which you already stated it was your first time seeing any of those videos.
Yes.
Did you see anything in those videos today that you didn't see at the time of the incident?
Yeah, the people being hit and flying. Once the car was in front of me, that's when It left the bodies behind.
But you didn't actually see.
I couldn't. The car was in my way.
I just want to say really quick, she is actually answering his questions like amazingly. I thought that this was gonna be real. Like I thought he was gonna come at her like way more aggressively. But it's good to see that she's not even taking this nonsense. Like, and I'm really liking that she's painting the full picture and she's not allowing him to like insert little. You guys know what he does. Like he just tries these little tactics to make it seem as if the witness is somebody that's moving based on their own personal like opinions, or they're moving based on emotions, which they are, like in terms of like this is a tragic moment, but he tries to make it seem as if they're being irrational with a lot of the things they do. And so far the entire picture that she has painted is all rational. It all makes sense, and she's not allowing him to like paint any sort of weird image of her. Like she's doing incredible, and I'm actually really happy to see that, because I was extremely concerned coming into this cross exam. But we're not over.
Do you recall
yet.
who else was
not
not
yet.
injured from your group besides Lola?
The four of us were not injured.
Do you recall the names of who was not injured?
Kathy Z, Sharon Millard, me and Lola and Kathy. The other Kathy. There's two Kathys.
Both Kathys, to your knowledge, were not injured?
No, they weren't. We were all that was left standing.
That's sad stuff, man.
Do you recall about what time you left the parade after the incident?
What do you mean after the incident?
Do you recall what time you left the parade?
That was when everybody was taken away, and I think then we were in the bar having a cup of coffee, and then I had to find a way home because the music vehicle had to stay there because it was a crime scene.
Right.
So
So
Kathy Z's family took her home, so they gave me a ride right away too.
And you don't recall about what time that was?
No.
Do you see what I mean? She's painting the entire picture, and it's really amazing to see.
That would be fair with everything else going on.
What? Hold on, backing up a little bit.
About what time that was?
No.
That would be fair with everything else going on. At any time in the days following the incident, did you see any reports of a suspect at any time?
I seen it on the news that a suspect was taken, or found, I should say.
Is he gonna ask her to point him out? Please do it.
And what are you referencing when you say found?
What was I, what? Oh, found, in other words,
Here we go.
the police found him. I didn't know who, where, or who he was at the time.
She said he. Is it time for a panic attack? She put a gender to it.
I don't recall if this question was asked, so I'm going to ask it. Were you there with any of your family members, immediate family or anything?
My immediate family members, just my husband. And he was driving the music vehicle.
Was he injured in any way?
No. Outside of being shocked by what he was seeing.
Physical injury. Did he suffer any
because
physical?
he was in the car.
And I mentioned that in the last video as well. That a lot of them mentioned that part, that like they did suffer emotional and psychological damage. A lot of them, you know, I feel like almost every witness at this point has mentioned that, which like is powerful in itself. The fact that every witness, they're basically showing the world that this did carry a major psychological toll to me, and it speaks for everyone that was a part of the parade. Pretty much everyone that was present, I'm sure they had the same, like it's just a lot of people that are gonna have to deal with very deeply rooted psychological issues probably for the rest of their life, just because of something that this dude did, you know. People that came there to have a good time, and it's probably going to be difficult for them to trust public events and stuff like that. Again, because of dealing with stuff like this. You know, you see stuff like this on the news, and it's easy to... It'll just warp the way that you see occasions that are supposed to be considered like fun and happy, and it's just sad, man. It's very sad.
Do you recall giving any police statement, or were you interviewed by any law enforcement after the incident?
Yes.
Do you
Hopefully
recall
that made sense.
if it was the same night of the incident or in the days following?
Both.
Both?
Right there at the time, and then the next day.
I feel like we're inching towards the sovereign citizen stuff. It feels like we're getting a bit closer to that.
Did you ever file any claims related to the incident?
Here we go. We're getting there.
I believe not of the incident, no, because I was there when they were talking to the gals that weren't hurt. They were like interviewing us.
The four of you, correct? The four that weren't the two cats.
Yeah, the ones that were left. Yeah.
Do you know if they filed any claims related to the incident?
If what?
Do you know if they filed any claims related to the incident?
Objections?
Wouldn't that be hearsay?
Speculation.
Grounds?
The way that he asked it is overruled. So you may answer if you know.
Okay, no, because we were all together and came to every interview that they needed from us.
And that's such a broad question as well. Did you file a claim in this matter? Like, what?
Do you recall
It's such a weird question to ask.
seeing or reading any complaints related to the incident?
Objection.
Grounds?
Sustained as to the form of the question. You don't have to answer that.
Okay.
Should I rephrase the question? Or?
It was sustained as to the form of the question.
any time during any interviews with law enforcement were you shown a complaint related to the incident?
Objection, banned.
Grounds.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Were you informed that it may be a possibility that you might be called to testify in this matter?
A lot later, not at the time. I had no idea of testimony until.
Would you say much later, as you say, would that refer to weeks, months?
Months. I was in no shape at the time to testify or talk about anything.
Do you recall seeking to testify? Wanting to testify?
No, I didn't ask to. This just happened when we would be in our interviews and then.
So it would be fair to say that you were asked or
Yes.
subpoenaed.
Yes,
Do you recall by whom?
I imagine the DAs or.
When you say the DAs, do you mean the district attorney's office?
Yes,
Did they ever identify to you as being the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection,
Grounds.
Sustained. Next question.
Grounds for the substance, Your Honor.
Relevance grounds.
Do you recall ever being told that there was a plaintiff in this matter?
no, it's just, I was interviewed a few times, the 5 of us, and that was pretty much the end of it until months ago where.
I
He
think
said-
probably a little explanation is needed.
He's having trouble keeping up with his own sovereign citizen BS. You see this, right?
Are you aware what a plaintiff is?
Objection, relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained. Next question.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
Next question.
It's not relevant.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
Ask your next question, please.
I am. I just want to know the grounds, just for the record, the grounds for the sustain.
Ask your next question.
Your Honor.
She doesn't owe you an answer, so I don't know.
Ask your next question. I'll address this all at the next break outside the presence of the jury. Ask your next question.
Your Honor, with all respect, I think the jury
Mr. Brooks,
deserves.
ask your next question, or I will determine that the cross-examination is now closed.
Oh, please keep pressing.
Keep going.
Press the
I'm gonna
issue,
keep
Darrell.
going. I just think the jury deserves to hear.
Mr. Brooks, I'm
Press the
instructing
issue.
you to stop making those statements. The jury will disregard. This is the cross-examination. It's not your opportunity to make legal arguments or to testify. You'll have an opportunity if you so choose to do that later.
With all respect,
Next
that is not
question.
question-fine. The jury just deserves to know.
All right, under 90611, the cross-examination
I still
will be
have a question,
determined.
Your Honor.
Sir, you didn't follow my very clear
Yes,
instructions.
let's go.
Does the state have any follow-up?
No, Your Honor.
Let's
Thank
go.
you, ma'am. You
Objection,
may step
objection
down.
to that, Your Honor.
Your
I was
objection's
not-
noted. Ma'am, you
I
may
was
step
not.
Let's
down,
go.
and after she steps down, I will be excusing the jury for a few moments. Please rise for the
That's what
witness
I'm
and
talking
for
about.
the jury as they leave the courtroom.
Yeah, look surprised. Look at me. Let's be honest, he didn't have any other questions to ask. Like, he was just, once he gets to the sovereign citizen stuff, you could really cut him off at any point because he doesn't even know what he's asking, why he's asking it.
Mr. Brooks,
has
please
no idea what's
wait.
going on. I'm so glad he pressed the issue.
You may have a seat, everyone.
Now we gotta deal with the baby boy tantrum. Here we go.
To specifically address the repeated request by Mr. Brooks for the court to state the grounds, sir, I am not legally required to do that. Those are legal determinations that if you feel there is an error later on, you can address on appeal if you are convicted. I have been answering many of them at your request, but I may not do that at all times. In fact, you're asking me to provide that explanation and really highlight for the jury the court's opinion on relevance. That's why we don't state that. There's an objection, a party makes it, states the grounds. Sometimes I ask the opposing party for their position. Sometimes I do not. Many times it's very self-evident. Either the objections are baseless. Many of the hearsay objections are baseless. Your objection to hearsay is it's not hearsay. So that's why, to me, they're self-evident. I say sustained, and we go forward. So you need to be aware, sir, that when you ask for the grounds, you're asking me to state a legal conclusion in front of the jury, which I don't feel is necessary. For the reasons that I've already stated, that you're asking me to highlight my opinion on relevance and my determination on relevance. So going forward, you need to be aware of that. Again, not a sign of disrespect. It's the record is self-evident many, many times. If I feel that more argument is needed, I'll excuse the jury. But I haven't felt the need to do that up until this point.
Right now, she is explaining exactly why it is that she's doing what she's doing. And then you come to find out, and look, I have no experience. I've said this numerous times. I don't really understand the legal system like that. I'm learning it through these videos. But she doesn't even have to tell him the grounds of why she makes the decisions that she does. But I can guarantee you that right now all he's doing is he's sitting and just waiting for her to be quiet so he can go back to arguing his original point, which, like, I don't even really know what it is he wants. For her to state the grounds of why she sustained what he was asking. So,
and I will caution you once again, sir, 906.11 is the statute, mode and order of interrogation and presentation, controlled by the judge. The judge shall exercise reasonable control over the mode and order of interrogating witnesses and presenting evidence so as to do all of the following. A, make the interrogation and presentation effective for the ascertainment of the truth. B, avoid needless consumption of time. C, protect witnesses from harassment or undue embarrassment. And it goes on, but for purposes of what I'm going through, that's the most relevant portion of 906.11. So when I give you the warning that under 906.11, I will cut off your cross-examination, it's because you're violating 906.11. So
he doesn't understand
the determination that I violated 906.11 when
I'm advising you, sir. It's not
there
a
it is.
specific determination as to anything that's happened
there
thus
it is.
far. Just a summary of why I am relying upon 906.11 throughout the questioning of witnesses and the presentation of evidence.
Your Honor,
So with that, we're going to continue. I'm going to have the state be ready with their next witness.
Your Honor, I'm not interrupting you. I'm letting you make a clear record. And
Mr. Brooks, you have actually interrupted me.
I just let you go through the whole citing of 906.11 without saying anything.
I'm not asking for the parties to make an argument under 906.11.
So
I'm
why
advising
read it?
you. Stop interrupting me, please. I'm advising you, sir, so that you
This
have
ain't a conversation,
hopefully
bro.
more
She's telling you
knowledge
what it
and
is.
awareness
There's
as
no
it relates
rebuttal.
to the statute that I've cited dozens of times during this trial.
I'm well aware of what I'm citing, Your Honor. Well aware.
All right, so-
And I'm just seeking for the record to be clear. With all due respect, Your Honor, that's judicial misconduct.
I feel
you're
bad
not
for Judge Jennifer
allowing
now.
the jury who deserves to hear certain aspects of testimony. Like I stated yesterday, under the Sixth Amendment, I have the right to face my accuser, which means that I can question about clearly the plaintiff being the accuser. How come I can't question about if a witness may know or have had any prior interactions or any conversations or anything of the sort with the plaintiff who has yet to show their face? Also, I didn't even, the reason...
My bad. I was trying to pause. And sorry I'm pausing a lot. But, okay, so you guys brought this up in the comment section, and I had no idea that this is what he really meant by this. So, when he's saying, like, my accuser or the plaintiff in this matter is not before me, apparently he's actually referring to, like, the people that he killed. And I had no idea that that's how sick he's actually being. Like, I thought he was just saying, like, oh, you're saying the state is the one that's bringing the complaint against me and the state can't be here. Like, that's about as deep as I thought into it. But the fact that that's actually what he's saying when he said that, like, that is beyond sick. Like, that is insane. And it makes me like, I thought it was funny at first, but now
reason why
understanding that's what it means, like,
is
that's
because I was trying
insane.
to get to the question of the witness saying that about the four ladies in her group that were not injured. There's relevancy because with her stating on the record, clearly for the record, and for Your Honor, and for the court and for the jury, that these ladies were not injured in any way, but yet there's still charges associated with these ladies who were not injured. That should be dismissed.
We are not at that point, sir. The charges I refer you to the preliminary jury instructions for first-degree recklessly endangering safety and the elements, or the elements they don't need to prove. There are certain elements. And so I'm not going to have a debate with you over the law at this point. I've made my rulings as it relates to certain questions that you have asked and whether they're relevant, whether they're vague, whether they call for speculation, or a whole host of reasons that a question can be objected to. I'm not further going to address your position on
May I request a legal reconsideration of your ruling, Your Honor?
You interrupted me. I'm not done with what I was trying to say.
It was no way for me to know that because you paused. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Just because I paused doesn't mean I'm done.
But
So,
you paused for quite a while, so I wasn't sure.
in any event, sir, we're going to keep going. Any error you believe I've made, you can raise again on appeal if you are convicted, but we will proceed forward. Does the state have
I'm
the
not
next
trying to
witness available? Please do not interrupt. I'm asking the
And
state
that's
a
why
question.
that's why I was just
Mr.
quiet.
Brooks, you're interrupting. Stop. Does the state have available their next witness?
We do, but could we please request a comfort break, Your Honor? I'm sorry, but we haven't gone about 2 hours now.
All right, that's
as long
fine.
as
We'll
they're out.
take a 15-minute break. That's fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For the record, Your Honor, we haven't addressed subject matter, jurisdiction.
We are off the record, Mr.
Man, being a judge is not. It's not a career path that I envy. I'll just say that. You see what she has to deal with this dude, man. Like, it is so insane. She has to be basically like his elementary school teacher. Like, when I was in school, there was always, or not always, but there would just be a kid that it seems like they couldn't stop with, like, getting in trouble and all that stuff. Like, he seems like that kid. that kid in school, but then he just kept that mentality, and his whole life he somehow like skirted through life with that mentality, and he's still here in the same mindset, in the same way. Like, it's just wild to see, man.